Mr. Trump, there's a lot you don't understand. But I never thought one of those things would be show business.
Ever seen two grown men fight like it's the season finale of a reality show? Well, grab your popcorn because Stephen Colbert and Donald Trump are back at it again, and this time, it's personal.
Didn't stutter like that. Second, if you want to make this a word talking contest, you're one of the weirdest speakers in human history. I'm not saying that Trump doesn't care about his followers, but Trump is saying...
I'm your host, and today, we're diving into the latest chapter of the never-ending feud that's got the internet buzzing. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. From savage insults to brutal truth bombs, this feud has it all. So, let's break it down step by step, and see why this beef is still the most entertaining thing on the internet in 2025. It all started when Donald Trump, the former president, and self-proclaimed master of social media, decided to take a swipe at late-night TV. In one of his infamous all-caps rants on Truth Social, he called late-night shows unwatched garbage and specifically targeted Stephen Colbert, labeling him a washed-up clown with ratings lower than his golf scores.
I know how numb we've become, but it's not normal. No other candidate for the presidency has ever had to pause his campaign to defend himself in multiple courts. And I would like to point out that in all 7 of his cases, no one doubts that he did these things. We're just sitting around patiently waiting to find out if the wheels of justice will grind fast enough for there to be any consequences. And the media is covering it like it's any other political story.
Ouch. But if you know anything about Colbert, you know he does just let that slide. This is the guy who turned Trump's tweets into Shakespearean soliloquies after all. So, what did Colbert do? He did what he does best, fired back with a monologue so sharp, it could cut through steel. Standing center stage with that trademark smirk, Colbert read Trump's post in his best Trump impression, pausing for dramatic effect.
Second thoughts. I'm still working on some of my first thoughts because I got to be honest with you. I don't think I've been honest with you. I'm not trying to be dishonest. I'm trying to preserve what's left of my mind. Because this is not my first Trump rodeo. And I say rodeo because of all the bull. We all know, we've been here, we all know what it's like to drink from this man's fire hose of hate and lies every day. But daddy's all full, thanks.
Then, with perfect comedic timing, he dropped the line that set the internet on fire. Donald Trump calling someone washed up is like the Titanic calling a life raft overrated. The audience erupted, and social media exploded. But Colbert didn't stop there. Oh no. He spent the next 5 minutes roasting Trump's entire social media meltdown. From Trump's obsession with golf to his bizarre Diet Coke and fast food diet, Colbert left no stone unturned. He even joked about Trump's Mar-a-Lago dance parties, saying, "If I had that much free time, it'd probably start a podcast too." Asterisk, the crowd was in stitches, and the memes started flooding Twitter faster than you can say fake news. Now, here's where it gets even juicier. Trump, being Trump, couldn't resist firing back. Within hours, he was back on Truth Social, ranting about Colbert's ratings and calling him a no-talent guy, whose jokes were written by woke leftist losers. Class Trump, right. But here's the kicker, every time Trump claps back, he hands Colbert even more material. It's like trying to roast Gordon Ramsay, and expecting him not to flip it into a 5-star insult right back at you. And that's exactly what happened. Colbert, rubbing his hands together like a cartoon villain, turned Trump's rage into comedy gold. He even framed the whole thing as if Trump had personally invited him back into the ring. "Thanks for the invite," Donald Colbert said with a wink. "I didn't know you missed me this much." Asterisk, the audience went wild, and the internet couldn't get enough. One fan tweeted, "Stephen Colbert just ended Trump's whole career. Again, but why is this feud so entertaining?" Well, beyond the memes and clapbacks, it taps into something bigger. It's a battle between late-night comedy and political power. Colbert is just cracking jokes, using humor to hold the powerful accountable. And Trump, well, he's proving Colbert's point every time he fires back with an all-caps rant. It's like watching a roast battle where one guy is reading from a teleprompter, and the other is typing furiously on his phone. What makes this feud even wilder is how it's managed to outlast almost everything. Presidents have come and gone, social media platforms have been rebranded, and even Kanye West's career has had more plot twists. Yet, Colbert and Trump are still beefing like two uncles who won't stop arguing at Thanksgiving dinner. It's the gift that keeps on giving, and honestly, we're all here for it. So, what happens next? Well, if history has taught us anything, it's that Trump has the self-control of a kid in a candy store. When it comes to clapping back, the chances of him not firing off another all-caps rant are about as slim as him turning down an interview with Fox News. And you just know Colbert is already sharpening his jokes for the next round. But let's rewind for a second. How did this feud even start? It all goes back to 2016, when Trump descended that infamous escalator, and declared his presidential bid. Colbert, who had just taken over The Late Show, saw an opportunity and ran with it. From day one, he made Trump his comedic muse, but not in a friendly ribbing kind of way. Oh no. This was pure, unfiltered late-night savagery. Who could forget Colbert's infamous joke that nearly broke the internet? Or the countless monologues, where he transformed Trump's tweets into Shakespearean soliloquies. "I also want to apologize to you," Colbert once said, addressing Trump. "I've said a few things about you over the years that, in polite company, are perhaps unforgivable. Almost unforgivable. Some nice I don't remember saying anything nice. But anyway, I hope you'll accept my apology." Trump, of course, was about to let some late-night host get the last word. He fired back in true Trump fashion, with all-caps social media rants and enough insults to fill a third memoir. Whether he was mocking Colbert's ratings or branding him boring and unfunny, Trump's responses always felt like he typed them out with one finger while muttering sad under his breath. What makes this feud even funnier is how it's managed to outlast almost everything. Presidents have come and gone, entire social media platforms have been rebranded, and even Kanye West's career has had more plot twists. Yet, Colbert and Trump are still beefing like two uncles who won't stop arguing at Thanksgiving dinner. Colbert's whole brand of comedy thrives on skewering the powerful, and Trump has never met a spotlight he didn't want to hijack. Colbert found ways to keep the fire burning, squeezing every last drop of comedy out of Trump's post-presidency antics, from rambling rally speeches to launching his own social media platform that nobody asked for. Now, in 2025, with Trump still dominating headlines, and Colbert still behind the desk, this feud has officially outlasted most Hollywood marriages, several streaming platforms, and probably even some government policies. And honestly, at this point, we wouldn't have it any other way, because in a world where billionaires are building rocket ships, and AI is writing pop songs, there's something oddly comforting about knowing that Stephen Colbert and Donald Trump will still be trading insults like to guys who refuse to leave the roast battle stage. But let's dive deeper into what set Colbert off this time. Oh, you already know it had to be something peak Trump. It all started when the former president fired off one of his infamous all-caps rants on Truth Social. Because what better way to spend retirement than yelling into the digital void? The post in question. Trump went full throttle on the state of late-night TV, calling it unwatched garbage, and taking not-so-subtle shots at Colbert, claiming the host's jokes were written by woke leftist losers. Classic Trump, right? But here's the kicker, he specifically name-dropped Colbert, labeling him a washed-up clown, whose ratings were lower than his golf scores. Ouch. Now, if you know anything about Stephen Colbert, you know he does just let that kind of shade slide. This is a man who once dedicated an entire segment to mocking Trump's obsession with sizes. So, when Colbert caught wind of Trump's digital tantrum, it was like handing him a comedy grenade with the pin already pulled. Was it personal? Oh, absolutely. Colbert's been one of Trump's most relentless critics since the 2016 election, and you can bet your last orange spray tan bottle that it's not about to ease up now. But was it also hilarious? Without a doubt. Colbert couldn't resist taking another swig not just because Trump basically gift-wrapped him the joke of the night, but because, well, low-hanging fruit is still fruit. Trump also spoke to Time magazine about the most important issue to him: this show you see a no-talent guy like Colbert. There's nothing funny about what he says. What he says is filthy? And you have kids watching. It only builds up my base, it only helps me. People like him. Guy was dying, by the way. They were going to take him off television, then he started attacking me, and he started doing better. But his show, I mean, your job is to make people laugh. You don't just ignore the easiest target in the world. It's almost like Trump forgot he was dealing with the king of late-night sarcasm. The segment that followed was vintage Colbert, razor sharp, dripping with sarcasm, and delivered with that signature smug grin. He kicked things off by dramatically reading Trump's post in his best impression of the former president's voice. Then, with perfect comedic timing, he hit back with the line that would set the internet on fire: Donald Trump calling someone washed up is like the Titanic calling a life raft overrated. Asterisk. The audience went crazy instantly, but Colbert didn't stop there. He spent the next 5 minutes absolutely roasting Trump's whole social media meltdown, throwing in jokes about Trump's golf obsession, his Mar-a-Lago dance parties, and even his bizarre diet of Diet Coke and fast food. It was like watching someone roast a marshmallow, slow, methodical, and absolutely delicious. The best part: Colbert made sure to frame the whole thing as if Trump had personally invited him back into the ring. "Thanks for the invite," Donald Colbert said with a wink. "I didn't know you missed me this much." Asterisk. The audience went wild, and the internet couldn't get enough. One fan tweeted, "Stephen Colbert just ended Trump's whole career. Again." But Colbert was done. Oh no. He twisted the knife with that signature dry sarcasm. The beauty of Colbert's roast was just what he said, it was how he said it. That smug grin, the raised eyebrow, the slight pause before every punchline, like he was savoring the moment before delivering the knockout blow. It was a masterclass in comedic timing, made even better by the fact that everyone in the room knew Trump was definitely watching, probably clutching his phone, half-typed rage tweet at the ready. Even the band couldn't help but chime in with a little rim shot after the final punchline, like a musical exclamation point on Trump's latest public humiliation. The crowd's laughter echoed for what felt like an eternity, with some members giving Colbert a standing ovation. Because let's be honest, when you roast Trump that hard, you deserve your flowers. If there's one thing as predictable as Trump's hair staying perfectly in place during a hurricane, it's his chef's kiss social media meltdowns. And when Stephen Colbert delivered that brutal roast, you just knew Trump could resist firing back because, well, restraint has never exactly been his thing. It took approximately 0.2 seconds before Trump hopped on Truth Social, or as some might call it, his personal diary, to unleash his signature brand of fury. Honestly, if there were a bingo card for Trump clapbacks, would all be winning right now. At this point, Colbert versus Trump is just a food, it's a cultural phenomenon. Whether you're Team Colbert or Team Trump, there is no denying that this back and forth is keeping the internet entertained. So, what do you think? Who won this round? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the drama that never ends. Until next time, stay tuned, and keep laughing.